On that note, I introduce my guest to you. He's Basit Busari. He is a legal practitioner, and it's such a pleasure to have you this morning. Good morning and welcome aboard.
Good morning, House. Good morning, viewers.
Yes, good morning. So I am Vivian and Olumide is right opposite me. So this is the first question. How have recent celebrity defamation cases in Nigeria influenced public perception of the law?
Thank you very much. I think the recent developments, especially in the social media space, as regards celebrities and individuals, has broadened our jurisprudence and our knowledge of the law. Prior to that time, most people just go on social media and publish different materials or make statements to defame people, to cause people's personality to disrepute. But now there is more enlightenment that these actions have consequences, both in criminal and civil actions. So basically, Nigerians are making use of the law, the machinery of the law, to enforce their rights where the borderline has been crossed.
All right.
All right, Basit, I would like to ask you, looking at this whole VDM and the Falana saga, some people said that the Falana should have even sued Idris Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, instead of going after VDM, because I mean, Idris Okuneye was the one who laid the claim that he gave Files, or Files called him, or he gave Files a certain amount of money to secure a presidential pardon. So people said that why are they going after the will I say the weak one, or will I say the powerless VDM? What's your thought on that?
Basically, well, opinions differ on it. But from my opinion is this: when you look at the elements of defamation, it says publishing to the world materials which, in the eyes of a right-thinking person, a reasonable man, will lower the reputation or the status of that person. Assuming without considering Bobrisky made that audio, it was VDM who published it to the world. Any right-thinking person listening to that audio would most likely think otherwise of the respectable Falana family. So it is the impression that videos gives to the outside world that matters most.
You know,
Yes.
what you did was just to take the words right out of my mouth. I was going to ask you, what are the most common defenses celebrities use in defamation lawsuits? But I think you just answered it. You just answered it, beg your pardon. It's destroying the person's reputation. So this is my question. Does the Nigerian legal system address, how does the Nigerian legal system address defamation in the age of social media?
Yes, we have different laws, especially as regards defamation. In fact, some states, like Lagos State, has defamation law of Lagos State. So defamation basically is divided into two parts. We have the criminal aspect. We have criminal defamation under the criminal laws, criminal code, and the penal code. And we have under tort where you can institute action in the court of law in respect of and ask for damages in respect of defamation, especially when you feel that your status or your reputation has been lowered in front of millions of your fans or millions of respectable Nigerians who think of you in a high standard.
All right.
All right, thank you very much. Still looking at defamation and how it affects social media. You know, these days we have a lot of bloggers who come online. I don't want to mention some of them who come online and just make certain statements. So, at what point does it become defamation? If, for instance, I come online, I said, "Oh, I heard what happened," and I pass judgment, can that be considered as defamation of character?
That's very well, because number one, even aside from law, one is expected that anything, before you come and send it to the whole world, you should have made reasonable investigation to know whether it is true or false. So, like I said, the elements of defamation, one, that the what was said was false.
Okay.
What was said was false, and it was published to the whole world, which lowered the standard, which lowered the reputation of the person in the eyes of a right-thinking person. The standard is a reasonable man on the streets. If a reasonable
Basit, I think I was going to ask him, in a case whereby what was published was true, but it also maligns the person's character.
Exactly. Olumide, are you a mind reader? You have to
What
tell me right
happens?
now. Exactly.
How would
because,
the court-
because I was going to ask, so what if it is true, but also damages the reputation of the person involved? But I do hope we are able to get Basit back, and this is one of the questions we're going to be asking. Okay, the producer, you could pass for a lawyer though. She just answered. That's Tope, by the way. She said that this scenario Olumide and I are talking about then is no longer defamation because it is not false.
It is not false.
But what if you don't have a good lawyer to defend you in court, and you have bigwigs who eat people for breakfast, like Olumide said, his words not mine, like the senior advocate of Nigeria and the activist is as his son. What do you do if you don't have a good lawyer to represent you?
That's another thing. And you know, this whole social media thing. I remember when we had, I think it was Folusho or Lakbo. He said that defamation of character even goes further than the person who made that statement. You who takes that video and repost it, you could.
You're part of it.
You're part of it. So you have to be careful what you post online or on your social media platforms and any other thing. So you have to be careful from the source. Do you understand? So that's why that's why even journalists like us, we say allegedly. And that's why when even our guest makes some certain statements, we ask them that, do you have proof?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have proof, then it has to be an allegation. It's basically, even sometimes when we read things on the newspaper, it could be an allegation, just like the rumors. Okay, let's have Basit back. Basit, are you there?
Hello.
Can you hear us, Basit?
Hello. Sorry. My connection was bad.
All right. So let's go back to it. I was just going to ask you a question, but we've gotten the answer. But let me ask you anyway, though, that if, for instance, you said for defamation to be proven, or one of the things, it has to be false. So in a case whereby what you published was actually true, but it still dents that person's character, does that stand for defamation or not?
Well, one of the defense of defamation is that what you are saying is the truth. So if it's the truth, it's a defense for you that said what I said is a lie. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So if it can be established that it's the truth, then it's not a problem. However, maybe there are some other intents. Except if you can show that aside being the truth, there are some other elements that was added to it just to maybe misrepresent to people the state of things. If the element comes in, then can become defamation.
Let me paint a scenario.
It was coined in a way to misrepresent to people the state of things.
Let me paint a scenario. In a case whereby, you know, we have someone, a whistleblower who leaks government secrets, what can be said? Can that be also taken as defamation? You leak government secrets, which also, of course, could be detrimental.
That one even goes outside the purview of defamation.
Okay.
I think there are laws in respect of that.
Okay.
There is this oath law or something that requires you to keep secrecy, yes, especially of government dealings. Maybe in respect of national security, what have you. But these days, I think the law even protects the whistleblower more, especially in respect of issues of corruption and all the rest. Except if it can be said it's more or less like a breach of national security and what have you, or maybe it can cause anarchy.
Yeah.
So maybe it can go in the realm of inciting violence or causing anarchy and all the rest like that.
All right. Now, I was going to ask, though, Basit, that which one carries the heavier weight? Because defamation can be split into libel and slander. Does anyone carry a heavier weight than the other?
It's basically the same thing.
Okay.
It's basically the same thing. Slander, when it is said orally, but still, let's say to the whole world. There are a lot of people there, or maybe through these days now, whereby we have social media, someone can just sit in their room and publish to the whole world and say some other things. Then libel in form of writing. So they are the same thing. They are all under defamation. They carry the same weights.
Okay.
All right, so going further now, how would you advise media outlets, bloggers, influencers, what to say on social media and what not to say in order not to be made a scapegoat, if I may say?
Okay, I think the first advice to them is that, number one, they should be responsible in the use of social media. Then two, I will advise any media outlet or any blogger to retain the services of a lawyer. Before they put out certain information, they might have their legal person go through it and see if there are any elements of defamation in it. If there are, you would advise them appropriately on how to coin it or how to rephrase it, that it will not amount to defamation. I think going forward, that would help them in reducing the risk of being sued or being arrested for defamation.
All right. Now, this question should have come before Olumide asked you for your recommendations, but I'll ask it anyway. Can celebrities sue for defamation over allegations made in entertainment media or social networks?
Very well. It depends. If it's a joke, let me use the word.
Okay.
Or in form of it, you are at a comedy show, then someone makes a joke out of it. Well, we can still say it's in the realm of entertainment. But there are certain lines. Once you cross certain lines, certain boundaries, it has become defamation, especially when the intent is malicious. So when the intent is malicious and it's aimed at bringing the person's status or name to disrepute, or so that will cross into defamation. But in the entertainment sector generally, still is either here or there. If it's more or less making a general joke and it's maybe the norm in the industry, then that can be allowed. But when you cross certain lines, then it comes down to defamation, especially when what was being said is false.
So basically, comedians could also, stand-up comedians and whatnot, they could also face defamation.
Yeah. Yes. If it's taken above the realm of jokes, I can remember recently an American artist had to slap a comedian on stage.
Yeah, it was Will Smith who slapped, a comedian during the Oscars. Yes, Chris Tucker.
I think that kind of comedian has crossed the line.
Yeah.
For him to have stood up to slap him. But generally, if it's for the purpose of entertainment and if it's the acceptable norm in the industry, that will not amount to defamation. But what will amount to defamation will even depend on the individual and the perception people outside there have about him.
Okay.
So
now,
even if it's a joke, and the outside world accepts it as the truth and the perception of that person, an action can arise for defamation in it.
All right. Now, based on your answer, let me ask this question. Yeah. So Will Smith slaps what's his name again?
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker, because Chris Tucker joked about the health of his wife. She had gone bald, and Chris Tucker joked about that. I would have asked that what should celebrities do now to avoid defamation cases? Because Will Smith's wife actually used this topic for her show, Red Table. But maybe when we bring you back some other time, Basit, we will continue this conversation. But you have been very brilliant on the show, and we thank you for being a part of it this morning. Thank you.